In the spring and fall, I have really bad hay fever, so I've got air purifiers all throughout my house just to help out with that. Most air purifiers work in more or less the same way, but there's a few subtle differences that I want to point out in this video if you're thinking of getting one. The first thing to think about is the air filter shape. You can either get a circular air filter or you can get a flat air filter. For me personally, I like the circular air filters because when you put it in a corner of the room, it still has the other sides that it can draw in the air and push up into the air. For an air filter to work the most effectively, you would want to put it in the middle of the room, but no one's ever going to do that. You're going to put it usually up against a wall or in a corner or somewhere kind of out of the way. And if the filter you have is on the front or the back, when you put it up against the wall, you're kind of blocking the air circulation from that side. So I recommend looking for the circular air filters just because there's more sides into which to draw up the air. Another thing to look out for is which direction the fan blows. Most air filters like these, they blow the air straight up, and that's great for winter because it's pulling in the air and it's just pushing the air up and out, so it circulates the air very well just to get things clean. There are some air filters which push the air straight out, and I think these are actually great in the summer when you want to cool yourself off anyway, and having a fan blow on you is nice. But in the winter, that's not really that great because you don't want to cool yourself down. So that kind of depends on where you live and what the season is, but I would generally recommend an air filter that is pushing the air straight up just to circulate the air as best as possible. As far as the display goes, I've seen all sorts of different displays, and honestly, I don't really care one way or the other. They're usually all pretty simple and straightforward and easy to use. The one thing I would say that you should be looking for though is some sort of indication when your air filter needs to be replaced. Most air filters just calculate by how long you have it on and just kind of have an arbitrary time of when you should replace it. But I do like having some sort of indication that you should be replacing your filter. Most air filters have this, but some do not, but it's something you want to look out for. Almost all air filters have a night mode where the display goes dark and it goes quiet. If you're going to put this in a bedroom, this is something else that you want to look out for. And obviously you want to be mindful of the size of the air filter. You've got really small ones like this, you've got really large ones like this. Kind of just depends on what room you plan on putting it in. But for the most part, I haven't really noticed a significant difference in the size of the air filter. As long as the fan is strong enough to circulate the air, you're usually pretty good to go. There are some air filters that are fancy enough that it comes with a smartphone app. And I will say personally, it's really nice to use. For example, this one has a smartphone app, so I can go on, I can see how long the filter's been on for, I can change it, I can control it, I can use voice commands to turn it on and off. And while I think that's really nice to have, honestly, I've only used it a couple of times. I think for most people, you don't really need a smartphone app, but if you find an air filter that you like that has one, it's certainly really nice to have. And lastly, one thing that I really like on air filters that not all air filters have is a way to spread essential oils into the air. These two air filters have pads that you can put essential oils on, so when the fan blows up into the air, it's also blowing the essential oils, so it just makes your room smell extra nice. Not all air filters have that, so if you think you want that, be on the lookout for that feature. I hope this video helped. Thanks for watching.